Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Christmas minis. Santa Cat? Santa Cat. So I just asked David. I don't know what to call it. So because it's a cat with the Santa hat on, I was like, I can't say the Cat in the Hat because everyone's gonna assume I'm talking about Dr. Seuss, and then that's just misleading and that's not cool. So then he was like, Santa Cat, and I was like, that's really cute. I like that. So that's what it is. Thank you.
I'm glad I could
If
help.
it'll focus on the book, there we go. So it's this guy.
I'm here
Thank
all
you.
week.
No, you're not. You go to work still.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm here all week because I get to work from home. And now I'm making it awkward. I'm gonna go cross stitch now. Alright, we're gonna continue with the weird questions because, again, David's not here right now. 43. Why do people expect a universe full of randomness to be fair? I feel like this is a really weird question. Do people expect a universe full of randomness to be fair? I'm not sure I really follow. Okay, let me see what the thing underneath says. Freak accidents and lottery numbers can change a life, but that doesn't mean it's fair. I mean, yeah, like that example right there. Lottery numbers. Completely random. It isn't really fair. One person, and out of however many apply and, enter it, wins. And I mean, personally, I don't think that's fair, but if you're willing to go against the odds, that's on you if you don't win. And congratulations if you do. I would like I would like a share in that. um I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily that people want the random universe to be fair so much as they just, want to come out of it intact. Which I guess is considered fair. I don't know. This is a weird question. Universe full of randomness to be fair. Just because unfairness sucks. No one is happy when they're treated unfairly, be it by Mother Nature or another human being. I'm moving on now. I'm not good at this. I'm sorry. 44. Well, wait a minute. Okay, there are two question number 44s. I'm not crazy. I'm going to read the first one. 44. Will humans spread out among the stars or just be a brief blip in Earth's history? I mean, if you had asked me when I was younger, I totally would have thought we were going to go out into space and do crazy things, but like at this point, I don't even remember the last time there was a major space expedition. Like I've heard of people who are out in space for like 30 days and they're back now or whatever, but like it was nothing major. I remember the rover landing on Mars. I also remember the rover singing itself happy birthday to itself on Mars, and that just made me sad because he was all alone. I don't want to be so cynical as to say we're just going to be a brief blip, but I do think so. Like, even if we go out and spread among the stars, I do think the human race will still only be a small blip in Earth's history. Or we're going to destroy the planet, in which case we would still have only been a brief blip in Earth's history, because there was so much time prior to us people. You know? What's this say? Will the human race destroy itself or discover a way to chart the galaxy? I mean, it could do both. It could. Just being realistic here. All right, so the other question number 44. Tomorrow is the end of humanity. What destroys us? I don't know of any insane turmoil going on between, like Russia and the US or anything like that, but nuclear warfare would not surprise me if that's how humanity ended. I mean, David and I talked about war games however many episodes ago, and what was it? Thermonuclear warfare? Something really that bad. Global thermonuclear warfare. I think that's what it was. Not good. But I can't say that it would surprise me. You know? What does this say? Are we looking at a day after tomorrow scenario, nuclear winter, or something else? I guess if we're back to the whole randomness thing, it could just be a gigantic meteor crashes into us and we all die in a fiery explosion. I really do not like this. There is a precious kitty coming to life on the screen, and we're talking about the end of humanity. Ay, ay, ay. 45. Are you happy with the person you are becoming? I am. I look back on how I was when I was younger, whether it was how I was with family, how I was with friends, how I was to myself, and I think I'm much better. And honestly, I am simply just happier, which goes a long way in being, happy with the person you're becoming. If you're unhappy, it's hard, to have a good outlook on that. But if you persevere, I believe in you guys. Like, 7th grade was a gigantic all-time low for me. It was so bad. I had a lot of close friends, but my asthma was really bad. And yeah, it wasn't a good time for me. And I have been depressed before. I've never considered any drastic measures. And I will say I do think a big part of that is the fact that I have had a family member kill himself. And it's just, it's so upsetting. And we weren't even that close, in the long run. Like, he wasn't my best friend, he wasn't my dad. But it still hurts, all these years later. I was in middle school when he killed himself. And, of course that didn't help. But yeah, I don't know how I got on this topic. I'm sorry. Okay, what does this say? If not, there's a few ways to change yourself for the better. Well, yeah. Gotta implement that as soon as you can. 46. Can insanity bring about more creativity? I think so. I mean, who is it? Was it Picasso? No. Who cut off his ear? Was it Picasso? I'm sorry, I don't remember. But, like, there have been artists in particular, painters, who, they seemed like they had mental problems, even if we couldn't diagnose them back in the day, and they had spectacular artwork. I don't think there's necessarily a correlation with there being more creativity with that, but I can't deny that it is a correlation. I keep saying, I'm sorry. I need to work on that. I apologize. We're just going to move on. 47. If you try to fail and succeed, which have you done? I guess No, I'd still say you failed. Because, like, if you put a test in front of me, like just a test about Disney, and I want to fail it, I get everything wrong and I get a 0 back, I still failed that test. Yes, I got the results that I wanted, but I still failed. So, I mean, I'm coming out of it happy, so that's good, right? This one is a little mind-bending. Not really. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but how often do you want to fail? I guess I've intentionally lost video games or board games against, siblings or other family members or younger people that I'm babysitting or whatever. And it's not necessarily that I want to fail so much as I want them to win. So I guess I'm looking on the glass half full side of that, huh? I do not consider myself an optimist or a pessimist. I consider myself a realist. If you give me a glass of water that is half of it is water, I will be happy that I have water. I will not be like, yay, it's half full, or oh no, it's half empty. I'll just be like, yay, I've got water. Gulp, gulp, gulp. I explained that very awkwardly. My bad. 48. At what point are we good enough? I don't know in what context to think of this. Or should we always strive for more? I mean, it's not a bad idea to strive for more, of course, but there's always a point where you're just like, I cannot do more, and you shouldn't hold that against yourself. I don't think that's fair. I think it just depends on the person and in the situation that they're in and how they feel. You know, I don't get to make that choice for you. I can make it for myself. So, yeah, I don't know. 49. Can you describe your life with a 6-word sentence? Okay, hold on. My life is filled with happiness. My life is filled with happiness. There we go. Boom! Describe my life in a 6-word sentence. The thing underneath says it's easier than you might think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just because that had 6 words in it, that does not describe anybody's life. Or, well, I guess you could say your life is easier than you think. I like mine more. Mine was happy. 15 weird never have I ever questions. I wonder how many of these are going to be the same from the one we did before. 50. Never have I ever danced in the rain. I have. I'm not really big on it. I don't like when my clothes are soaking wet, especially my socks and my shoes. Like, the squishiness is just, ugh. I hate it so much. So, but I have. Honestly, the most memorable thing for me was we were in Germany. I want to say we were either at the house or we were at a friend's house. I know my siblings and my mom were there. Were the Schmidbauers there? The Schmidbauers were a family, family friends that we had and still have to this day, actually, I believe. And we all, there was a lot of babysitting involved where their mom would babysit us and our mom would babysit them and whatnot. So they might have been over, or we might have been over with them. I'm not sure, to be honest. But point of the story is there was a thunderstorm outside. Like, it was pouring rain. There was lightning. It was loud. It was close. And I remember looking out the window and there were 2, I want to say teenagers. Like, they were definitely not as young as me, but they weren't grown-ass adults. So, teenagers. Maybe preteens, but probably a little bit older. And they were dancing around in the parking lot, and it was starting to flood, so it was covering up their feet. And I was just like, are they gonna be okay? There's lightning. I don't want them to die. And like, I was really worried, and everybody assured me that they'd be fine. It wasn't a problem. The lightning was far enough away. So then I was like, well, I want to join them. And everybody was like, no, you can't. So I didn't. 51. Never have I ever wondered who or what I was in my past life. Honestly, I haven't. I don't know if I really believe in reincarnation or not. Like, if other people do, you know what? I totally believe that they'll reincarnate, or that they have. But I don't know if I have or if I will. I feel like I was really young when my mom talked about, not necessarily reincarnation, but, religion, which a lot of times an afterlife comes with religion. Not always, but oftentimes. And she was telling me that at least in her belief, I want to say she said her religion, and my mom is Mormon. Not the polygamous kind, all right? Like, no. Stop that. That was a sect that broke off of the Mormon church. But their belief was that you die when you've reached perfection. So if a baby is stillborn, it was already perfect. And, so God took it. And you can be sad about it, but don't let it ruin your life because that baby is in heaven now. And, same with kids. Like, I want to say it was perfection, but I could be thinking of the wrong word. But the idea is that, you've reached, I guess, enlightenment. You've gotten to that point where you're good, you're done. And I don't know how I got on this subject. Oh, so I thought, once you reach that point, you don't need to be reincarnated. Like you've already reached that point of enlightenment. Why would you need to reach it a second time? Unless you wanted to. So maybe, in the afterlife, you're given a choice to go through it again or continue on through the nice pearly gates. I don't know. And personally, where I am right now, I don't know. I don't think I'd want another go at it. I'm at least currently, I'm very happy with where I am. And, if I have Tessa, if I have my family, if one day I will have my family, excuse me, I have not lost all of them. If one day I will have David and so on and so forth and my friends, then yeah, I wouldn't need to make new friends and have a new family. I'd be happy with what I have. But if a ton of them chose to be reincarnated, yeah, I don't want to be lonely in my afterlife. And I believe in heaven personally. That's just me. I'm not offended in any way if you don't. That's fine. There's no way to prove or disprove it. And I accept that. That was a really weird way to answer that question. I'm moving on. 52. Never have I ever seen my doppelganger. A stranger doppelganger, no. But people have mistaken my mom, my sister, and I for triplets, if that counts. I don't think it does, because you're related. But, yeah, no, I cannot recall stumbling upon someone that I did not know that looked really similar to me. So, I've had other people tell me, like, oh yeah, I saw this girl at the mall and I thought she looked like you, but it wasn't to the extent that they were like, I thought she was you, And I feel like that's when it's doppelganger level. 53. Never have I ever sleepwalked. Not that I know of. I know I did move around a lot when I was younger. So, story time. In Colorado, it would get super duper cold in my bedroom. And there was a heater or a vent for the heating system in the hallway. So if I got too cold in my room, I would go out into the living room, curl up in front of that vent, and fall asleep. My mom found me there many, many mornings. But I remember getting out of bed and going there. I didn't sleepwalk there. So, yeah. I've never had anyone tell me that I've sleepwalked. I don't know the proper term for that when it's in the past. I don't know. So, no. 54. Never have I ever wondered if I would go to heaven or hell when I die. I have. And I think it's kind of I guess this is actually kind of Egyptian mythology, where you're given a scale. It's like, these are all the good things you've done in your life, and these are all the bad things you've done in your life. And I do think there was a time when I was not a good person, and that scale would have not been in my favor. But I think with the person that I am now, it would be in my favor, and I would be good overall. But I don't know how things are judged. I've never killed anybody. I've never broken anybody's bones. I've smacked people. I don't know if that is, significantly worse than complimenting someone to the point that they're in tears is good. I don't know. I'm not the judge. I mean, heck, for all I know, I'll go there and I'll have to judge myself. And, I'll have to make that choice whether I go to heaven or hell. And, yeah, I don't know. But, having moments where you're like, ooh, I have not been a good person is eye-opening, to say the least. For me, at least. I think I'm doing better. I think so. 55. Never have I ever killed a spider. Yes, I have. I have killed many spiders. Yes, I've killed many spiders. 56. Never have I ever searched the trash bin looking for something I accidentally threw away. I have done that so many times, and I am very guilty of, oh, I have made this dish before of rice-a-roni. I know what I'm doing. And then I throw out the packaging, and I go to it, and it comes to a boil, and I'm like, how long am I supposed to stir it for? Was it 10 minutes? 7 minutes? So then I have to go back to the trash can and pull it out, and 10 minutes. Totally guilty of that, you guys. I've done that so many times to the point that I now always leave it out until I am done. Because nope. No matter how many times I do something, I do not trust myself to remember. I have a terrible memory about stuff like that. Like the little things that, in the long run, honestly, are not that important. I don't need to memorize it because I have the directions in front of me, and it's not hurting me to not memorize them and keep them in my long-term memory. It's available to me. I need to read more anyways. What does this say? We've all been there, but what made someone dive into that dumpster? Oh, does it mean like actually digging in? Because that I can't recall doing. Usually, like everything that I can think of, it was like something I threw away very recently, so it was at the top of the trash. I know I've helped other people literally dig through the trash trying to find like a paper that they threw away, and it turns out it was right at the bottom. Definitely done that before, and I mean, I throw away my own trash, so I know what's in there, and I've never thrown away something where I'm like, oh gosh, like, I need to wear gloves if I'm gonna put my hands back in here, because if it's that bad, I'm gonna take it out immediately. And then it's too late now. The trash man has it. Generally, that kind of stuff would be in the bathroom rather than the kitchen. And I feel like most of the time when I've had to dig through the trash, it's been in the kitchen. So the worst thing in there is like leftover food that you threw out. And yeah, okay, it'll probably be gooey and gross, but just wash your hands afterward. Look at you! You're just off camera, barely off camera, like...
You immediately broke.
I did, it's true.
Yeah, you can be on the show. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
There. Well, it's because you were just like... You looked very intimidating.
Yes, I looked very intimidating in my sweatpants wrapped in
Your
a blanket.
sweatpants, huh?
Yeah, my sweatpants wrapped in a blanket.
Why are you putting your sweatpants in a blanket?
Ooh, come to me on this day. I mean, I just love that scene in The Godfather where he's in his sweatpants.
No, it's sweatpants. Sweatpants. If you're going to say it wrong, say it right. Don't you dare! I can always just put a picture over your mouth and they'll have no idea what you said. Alright, so...
They might be able to guess.
They'll have no proof, though. That is the end of Santa Cat. I got 2 hours and 13 minutes of footage. What are you?
Santa Cat.
What? Wasn't that what you called it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Did I say Cat Santa?
No.
Oh. Well, then why are you laughing at me?
Because you're cute.
It won't focus. Whatever. You guys get the idea. This is heavy.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. How's the book?
Book is good. I'm on book 3, and I am on part 5. I'm just waiting for it to slowly go through the text. So,
Stroller.
yes. and it's pretty cool. I don't remember. So it's Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson, for anybody that's been keeping up with the audiobooks that I'm listening to. I still prefer Harry Dresden. That's just me.
Which you'll be going back to after this
Yes,
one.
I'm so excited. There are 2 I get to read. Excuse me, listen to. And I get to listen to James Marsters, which is Spike from Buffy, and he was my favorite, so. Love you.
Spike was good.
Spike was the best. Him and Wesley. They were my favorites. Character development just whew. Okay, who besides them had that much character development? Cordelia?
No.
Yes?
Definitely not.
Yes, she did.
Eh.
She started out as a horrible human being that was just popular, and she became someone who was willing to give up her life to save others. Like, that's pretty big change.
That's a subject we can discuss on one of your recordings.
We've talked about Buffy, haven't
Yeah,
we?
I know. I
Yeah,
talked
and you
about
were
how-
upset with what they did to Cordelia.
Yeah, because they kind of peaked her development and then shipped her off the show.
Well, and that's the thing. She still did have that gigantic leap at first.
I didn't see it as nearly as gigantic as the others, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Spike and Wesley
Going
are still the
from
best.
spoiled high school
but-
girl to, hey, maybe I'll be a normal human being rather than a jerk is good,
No,
but
willing
not-
to give up your life to save one other person. That's pretty freaking big.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you were picked on by popular girls in high school, but I was. They were horrible human beings.
No, not really.
Well,
I don't think they knew I existed.
I would have preferred that personally. Bullies suck.
We didn't have a ton at my school. That kind of helped.
Mine was in like elementary school, middle school. Once I hit high school, it was just like I was a nerd, but I was a loud nerd, so people didn't mess with me because you don't mess with the one who's clearly the teacher's pet.
The loud nerd. Don't mess with the loud nerd.
Okay, well, you
Or
didn't
the
mess
guy
with me.
in
How's that?
sweatpants. who's
Sweat
so
plants, sweat
intimidating.
plants.
Yes, the sweat plants.
We are so weird.
We?
Yeah, you said sweat plants. I'm not weird.
Ah, yes, okay.
Okay, do we have anything else to add?
I don't have any numbers. Is it funny this
He
time?
did that yesterday. He did that yesterday, and then I. Do you have anything you would like to say to my audience?
Hello.
We're at the end of the video.
Goodbye.
Like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.